Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
The fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'm Elder Rawchaa. I hope you all are doing well. All praises be to the Most High, Ahaya, Bahashim, Yeshaya, Wa, Rawak. I hope you all are doing well. I hope the volume is fine here for you. I'm trying to make sure that this, this technical side, this technical stuff get dealt with. Before we begin, let me make sure you can all hear me clearly. Make sure the volume, I know the video is good, but make sure the volume's fine. Good afternoon. Before I go on, let me just make sure that the volume's well here. Yes? If so, I'll begin. Audio is good. All right, great. Okay, again, I'm Elder Rawchaa, the Gathered of Christ Church. I'm glad to be before you all. All praises be to the Most High, Ahaya, Bahashim, Yeshaya, Wa, Rawak. And yes, we have a new Patreon we're about to go into a discussion today. Okay, as you can see, the chemical attack on women. And I kind of feel that it's time for us to actually discuss these things outright, because there's a lot of our people, our women in particular, that are suffering in silence, which leads to a lot of misunderstanding on our side. And it has a lot to do with the aesthetics, right? What's going on the outside, right? And when we say the outside, we're talking about the hair, the nails, and a lot of other things. But I believe that we, as men of the Most High in the Bible, and those who believe in the Bible, need to see this thing and get to the bottom of it according to the Word, which is the Word of God, the Bible. And so that at least the conversation can be had in which there's more understanding. I notice online that there's a great attack, a serious attack on sisters, our women, when it comes to the hair, the nails, and all the things that the majority of men have been pushing back against, saying, this is something that you all are doing. Men really don't want any of that. And only to be, I would say, only to get a response that only leads to no conversation. Hating, bashing will be what the sisters are saying, and the brothers will be like, well, no, we really don't want all that. but there's a greater understanding outside of both. And I'm going to talk about the woman situation today, chemicals attacks that they probably didn't know existed. That's leading to why they have to cover their hair. And then I'm going to deal with the male side about it tomorrow. Okay? Because some people are suffering in silence, a lot of sisters. Because they do understand the importance of long hair when it comes to how they're viewed. Okay? So, through that, a matter of fact, let me go into the Bible real quick so I can get to Patreon, so I can let you know from what angle I'm talking about this with. The chemical attack on women. First and foremost, hair in of itself. There is a spiritual connection with the hair. Okay? Even Samson's power was in his locks. The Bible teaches us the power of women hair and their beauty. In the book of Corinthians right here, it says 1 Corinthians 11 and 15, and I hope you all can see that right there. But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory unto her. What does that mean? It is a glory. Glory comes from the Greek word, the Greek word doxa, which is in a wide application, dignity, glory, honor, praise, and worship. Honor, praise, and worship. Right? I need y'all to check that out real quick, right? Let me put it up there so you all can see it again. And we're speaking of the women or the woman's here in particular right now. It comes from the word doxa, which means what? Dignity, glory, honor, praise, or worship. Hence the reason why, even if it's aesthetically purchased, there's a certain initial attention that comes with it that women understand. Right? To a point of almost deifying. Now, I think personally that it's more subconscious. It's not overt. They don't have no idea why attention comes that way, right? But the Bible tells us that it's her glory. For her hair is given her for a covering. So the hair was given to our women for a covering, right? Which means when Eve was made, guess what? Before there was clothing, her hair was so long it covered her body. That's how long women hair was. Greatly kept if they're healthy, virile, strong as the Most High intended. The hair could grow so long it would become a woman's covering. Subconsciously, when our women or any woman, if you don't have hair to actually touch and all that, they know that there's something lacking based on what? How they were inherently made from the beginning. They're missing something. So the Bible tells us that 1 Corinthians 11, that the hair is our woman's beauty. Right? Now, there's other things I'm going to talk about on Patreon, but I really wanted to hit the scriptural part of this real quick. Right? Now, let's go real quick. Now, let's deal with it from now. We see what the Bible says. The hair is spiritual. The hair, even Samson hair gave him power. You have to be careful who's in your hair. If they have bad stuff with them, it can affect your whole makeup, your whole day, your whole week. Okay? Okay, there's pores that are within, that are on your head, that connects with oxygen and water and all of that nourishes. Yes, right. That nourishes your cranium. And then in between your ears is the temple of God, where the spirit lies. Hair is very important, right? So let's deal with it from what they call a scientific angle behind why men love long hair. Let's go there. Why men love long hair attractive. The science behind why men find long hair attractive, right? I'm going to blow this up for you. Luscious locks, teeming with life, have been a striking staple of long after ladies for centuries. When men are asked to rank features they find most attractive on the opposite sex, manes always dominate the list. The truth is that long hair triggers a primal instinctive response within men. Evolutionary speaking, long hair serves as a purpose. Here's the reason why your man can't keep his hands off of your tresses, your hair. Number one is fertility. Fertility is number one. Men are designed to seek out specific physical traits in women. These are large eyes, pouty lips, childbearing hips, and of course, long hair. And of course, long hair, as you can see there. Long hair right there. Let me hit it. Hold on. Long hair there. See that? Long hair. Right? Now, heavily long locks represents women's genetic code. If her hair is voluminous, thick, long, and lovely, chances are she has genes worth replicating. The fact that a woman is able to grow healthy locks indicates that she is virile and strong. So subconsciously, a man would look at a woman's hair knowing that if it's strong, healthy, she's taking care of her body, she can produce strong children for him. Right? Youth. Of course, there are exceptions, but typically longer hair is equated with youthfulness. And short, severe styles with age. Girls and women on the cusp of puberty often sport flowing locks. Right? It also represents femininity. Although men used to sport untamed tresses of their own, men and women are primarily attracted to one another due to their differences. Feminine traits are attractive to men precisely because they are different and are not masculine. Nothing is quite so exquisitely feminine as long locks. Okay, now it goes into how they programmed this in us as children through Disney. See? Disney subconsciously programmed the majority of our generations, which would do what? Lock in a standard of beauty subconsciously. Mermaids, Disney princesses, Renaissance paintings. All of those are art forms depict women with flowing tresses, which is hair. Men like your long hair for this same reason. They like high heels and dresses because it looks feminine, right? It's also equated with what? Variety on how you can actually dress and style yourself with your hair included in it. Your hair is almost a fashion statement within itself. The responsibility part is what I want to highlight. Responsibility. Caring for long hair. Caring for long hair. Okay? Caring for long hair isn't easy. Heat styling, weather conditions, and our lifestyle can all wreak havoc on our hair. As such, growing long, healthy hair signals a degree of commitment and responsibility when someone takes their own hair and have a care for it. That says a lot about that person, right? Because if they'll take all that time to make sure their hair is nourished, their scalp is greased, their hair is styled a certain type of way, that's the same care and attention they will have with you, right? As a man. But if they run out and they just dealing with something real quick, and you'd be like, well, okay, if you don't have enough time to actually care, to nourish what actually is covering the temple of God, that says something to a man who's looking at a woman on how she cares for herself, right? And I wanted to talk about it because women will get the attention that comes with the initial look. Because why? Men inherently love the long hair, even if it isn't their hair, even if it's store-bought or whatever the case is. But they'll get the attention that leads to what? Serious pain down the line, because within them they really want a husband and children. But the attention that they're getting, yes, there could be men who want to actually marry them, but they would have to go through a long process of actually dealing with people who just want the fleshly side, and the hair was just designed to attract them. Okay? So beauty comes with a responsibility, right? But I'm going to talk about that. I don't want to get too far off that. I'm going to be talking about that on Patreon. Long hair is an art form in of itself. Have you ever caught sight of a well-maintained mane blowing in a summer breeze? Men are genetically hardwired to notice these visual cues. Men are hardwired to, when that hair is flowing, to look and say, what's going on over here, right? Listen to this clearly. Hair serves as a frame to illuminate the beauty of the owner, right? Now, that's just the scientific part of things, that hair on a woman automatically is the what you would call sign that would have a man pay attention to. It's the marker that sets her apart from anything else he could be thinking about at that time. The hair is that point. Now, for those who missed it earlier on Eastward, let me show it again. The Bible teaches us, but if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is a covering. Her hair is a covering. 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter and the 15th verse. Now, when you go into that glory, let me do it again. Let me do this in the Greek again. The word glory means what? Her hair becomes what? Her dignity, her glory, honor, praise, or even worship. And this is why when women do put on the hair or style her hair, there's an air of confidence that wasn't there prior. It's like she turns into another person. And if men aren't careful, they'll praise, worship, or deify the woman because the woman is saying with the long hair that she's fertile, strong, can produce better, stronger children. Okay? Are you following me here? But what's wrong? What's wrong with this? And I'm just speaking of the hair in general when it comes to our women today. They have received the wrong messaging, which has led to them losing their glory. And it has put our women in position in which they cannot compete on the level they used to. Out of slavery and all that, when we had the hair naturally and all that, and we had to groom our hair, there weren't any options to purchase anything else. So we had to really take care of our hair. Women knew they had to take care of their hair, their bodies, because this is how they were going to be happy. Because this happiness was going to lead to her getting the man that she would be proud to be what? And help meet to. Let me show you something. That might shock you. The chemical attack on women. And I'm going to go into this more on Patreon. And what I'll do is, for our YouTube subscribers, especially for you helping us get to 100,000, we're going to take different clips from our Patreon each week and put it up, especially what I would call the key points that everyone must understand out there in the earth. We like to talk about regular situations, real time, and how the Most High is viewing things, so that we can correct our family, the children of Israel, step by step, by giving them the insight, the understanding to how and why we make certain choices for the Most High or against the Most High. A lot of our people are just ignorant to what's really going on and are making choices strictly off of the messaging that comes with the upbringing within Babylon. So a lot of it is, I'm going to say a lot of it is not their fault. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And this is why the Most High send teachers and those who can do the research so that you can make an informed decision to choose the tree of life or the tree of good and evil. Okay? Now, let's go here real quick. Now, we understand that hair is the woman's beauty. This is what you didn't know. There's a chemical attack on women. How to stop hair loss due to Depo-Provera. Now, a lot of our brothers might not be familiar with Depo-Provera, but women are. It's the Depo shot when they go and get birth control, and then for a certain amount of time, right, they cannot what? Produce children. It's a chemical birth control, but it comes with a side effect. They begin to lose their beauty unknowingly, chemically. It begins to hurt something, and there's a side effect. It'll help them not have children. But on the other hand, hair loss. A lot of them didn't know that was a chemical attack. Right? But why are they deciding to get birth control? Right? It's because of the messaging. Women, our sisters weren't told, or people weren't told, that true success for a woman in particular is family. That's true success. Having a husband and stand with that husband and raising children, which is what? The image of God, is really the true area of happiness for women. But they were told that they need to go out and compete with men. And in order to do so, right, that they would have to put off having children. So science enabled this, right? But it was the messenger. Depo shots. Other birth control. Let's read it. Birth control pills cause hair to move from the growing phase to the resting phase too soon. From the growing phase to the resting phase too soon. And for too long, this form of hair loss is called telogen effluvium. Large amounts of hair can fall out during this process. So now when you're younger, you really don't realize it because you're still very strong. Your hair still looks strong, even if you do stuff with it. But the chemicals you're taking are internally destroying your follicles. Right? Are destroying your follicles. Right? Now, we went into the science of it and show you that there's a chemical issue. But now here's the problem. On blackdemographic.com, it breaks this down, and I'm going to go into this on Patreon. How our women have gone from the most marriageable since slavery to the less marriageable out of all demographic of women in the earth, because they've been given wrong messaging. Right? Wrong messaging. Because now, immediately, what triggers a man, according to their science? The hair. The hair is the sign that tells a man, okay, that woman is very strong, can produce strong children for me. And now what they have done, the powers that be is trying to do what? Destroy the children of Judah, Benjamin, Levi. And what they're doing through immigration and others, they're opening up the borders. Middle East is coming over. All the other tribes are coming over too. And while they're telling our women to destroy themselves, now our younger men are looking at that hair that other young women are having naturally and are now choosing outside of their own families. Okay? They're choosing the hair, the look. Now, not just that. Not just that. Now, we're just telling you what is. When you're being attacked, one other thing I wanted to show. One other thing I wanted to show. Let me get it here. One other thing I wanted to show here. Real quick. Let me get it. Let me get it. Real quick, folks. Let me show this real quick. I need y'all to look at this. And I was ignorant to a lot of this stuff until I started looking into it. I was very ignorant to it, right? Because we just look at it and say, well, okay, what's going on? Sisters are having attitudes because men are choosing different. They're not getting with our sisters to stay with our sisters, right? And then we just look at the attitude portion, where they have to be more agreeable. And that is true. Sisters need to lay off on the attitude and become more agreeable. We understand that, but not realizing what they're fighting in silence. They have been given a message to do birth controls and do all these things. Their family was pushing them to become career-oriented, not realizing they were destroying themselves chemically out there. No one told them the negative side effects that would affect them. And then they're competing in the world, looking for a husband, and now they're looking in the mirror while no one is around, combing their hair, and balls of hair is falling out of the comb. And I'm sure if that was happening to anyone, you have to realize, to a woman, a hair is almost everything aesthetically. This is how women got husbands. Throughout perpetuity, This is how women used to get husbands. They would get their hair and their sisters would help them get their hair together and their body was right and their hair was flowing. And this is how they knew to get the man who would do what? Provide and protect her for the rest of her life. That's how important hair was. But they're suffering in silence. They look in a mirror and all of their beauty has fallen out. They can see it. No one else can see it. And see, in Corinthians, it tells us, what does it tell us in Corinthians? Look at this. That baldness is a shame. So even though they try to glorify that out there, internally, women are becoming ashamed because they're struggling with this and can't speak about it publicly. And now we are exhibiting the attitudes that come with all of this stuff of what she's suffering with no one is telling her that she's under attack. She's under attack because she's a daughter of Zion. She will bring forth the next kings, prophet, teachers. And instead of the messaging coming from the Most High, the media has misdirected her. And it's upon the children of Israel to send teachers to let them know the Most High the Most High didn't forget you. You've been lied to. Okay? You've been misdirected. They have turned you away from us. The men who have always cared. And then they have flooded the earth with options where our young men will look at other people above their own women. Look at this. Look at this. I know I have to go. I mean, I'm sorry, my Patreon people. I'll be right there. It's 2:00. I'm sorry. There's something called alopecia. Right? Alopecia. Alopecia is a medical term for bald. Now, I'm going to go to the scriptures on this in a second. Areata means patchy. This patchy baldness can develop anywhere on the body, including the scalp, beard area, eyebrows. It's hair loss. See, but they don't really, I did some research on this, folks. I did some research on this, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it on Patreon in a couple of moments. Folks, listen to this, folks. It's an autoimmune deficiency. Now, we all know autoimmune is something triggered where something on the inside has begun to attack you. A chemical may go into you and now your brain will look at your own body as the enemy. And it becomes an autoimmune deficiency. And a lot of our people were targeted to have to go to school. They had to do certain things. And they got chemicals in them that began to cause autoimmune deficiencies. Where now the aging process speeds up without you realizing it. And women, our sisters, began to lose their hair at early ages. It's called alopecia. Now, a lot of these things can be reversed. They can be reversed, and I'm going to talk about these things, but the only reverse is really getting our temple together and getting right with the Almighty and stop lashing out at everyone. We have to stop fighting each other and lashing out at each other and realize we're all under attack. We're all under attack. Alopecia is an autoimmune deficiency. Now, you couple that with what? You couple that, brothers and sisters, that autoimmune deficiency with sisters who take the depot shots to prevent pregnancy. That's right, birth control, which they're pushing straight in junior high school. Right out of elementary school, they're pushing this stuff. And our sisters go 10 10 years, between 15 and 25, with all of these chemicals attacking their temple, their cranium. And then they have to suffer by themselves, knowing that their hair is falling out, and cover it every day. And we're looking at it like, when are y'all going to realize that we don't want that, right? Not understanding what they're suffering with. So it comes, and let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you something before I go to Patreon. Let's go back to Eastward. Let's go back here. Right? Let's go back to Eastward real quick. Right? I'll blow it up so you all can see this. Now, I'm not absolving women or making an excuse for why there's attitude and all that. I'm not saying that. Right? But as men, we have to understand some of what they can seldomly discuss with us without feeling shame. Right? That part have to be understood first. And that's why I bring this scriptural element, so that there's no personal attack or my personal preference. All men prefer long, beautiful, healthy hair. Has nothing to do with preference. It has everything to do with nature from the beginning. Eve's hair was her covering. Her hair covered her whole body. And that's messaging to a man. A man is saying, look how strong her hair is. Look how long. She must be healthy. And as a healthy woman, she can produce strong, virile children, which begin what? Which begins a legacy of warriors, of princes, princesses, right? So the hair is a messaging that a man, her body is virile and strong, and her hair is healthy, which says that she's putting the right things in it. And guess what? If she's putting the right things in it, she will nourish me a strong king or princess. See? When you look at it, Paul discussed that here in Corinthians 11:6. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. That means shaved. Let me get the regular one here. 6. For if the woman is not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. It's a shame for a woman to not have hair. And subconsciously, women know that, brothers. And that's why, if they're dealing with these things, after receiving the wrong messaging that it's about her career and all this other stuff, and she can't have children until she's near 30 and all these things, she's chemically being destroyed inwardly without anybody recognizing it. Every time she take a depot shot, every time she take birth controls, something is going on within her that are destroying her follicles. And it's messing with her neural senses. So this is why we got mental issues and all these other things, because there's things happening medically, chemically, between her and her doctor, in which we don't have no idea what's going on when she's in our absence, going to these places. But then she'll start suffering, losing hair and all that. And then begin to cover it and won't say anything. Only a few people know, probably her mother, probably whoever's close to her. But now she's suffering a sickness. Usually when people are balding, that's a sign of them dying. Something is deteriorating inside. And now when we talk about, well, listen, we don't want all that stuff, they take it as if we are what? Unsympathetic. As if we know what they're dealing with personally. So I believe some of these conversations are going to have to be had when brothers speak to sisters. Like, are you on birth control? Have you ever taken Depo? What's going on with you? Are you dealing with any sicknesses? A lot of these things need to be discussed immediately so that the healing process can happen first before just jumping into relationships. Right? Now, there's one other thing that I want to pull out here before I go over, and I'm going to take phone calls on the other side. The messaging. The messaging. We're going to start off our Patreon, brothers and sisters, with an author by the name of Suzanne Vinker. It's only a 13, 14-minute video where she breaks down the family. How the corporations purposely began to do the wrong messaging to one side, which is women in particular, to separate them from man, so that what? They would have, so that the world can have a vibrant market, since women control 75% of spending in every house. But now the women who have listened in their early age are regretting it at 35 and 40. They're just getting the message that they were lied to and cannot get back any of that time they lost championing independence, not realizing that there will be a paradigm shift. That if someone keeps saying they're independent, that eventually you would be independent alone. Where men would have to begin to fight back on the other side and say, listen, that independent mentality isn't going to drag me down, because it's that mentality is a weight against God. It's a burden. And men have been trying to fight that messaging and saying, well, listen, it's not about controlling. It's not about this. There's a proper order according to God. It's not about being controlling or being intimidated by you out there trying to do something. No, it's about the perfect order, about you were made to help meet my agendas, my objectives. You're not supposed to have an independent thought to do something outside of me. That's what the head is. That's what the head is. So all that stuff saying, well, I was too independent for him, and that's crazy. You're gonna squander away your youth and realize at 35 and 40 that you received the wrong messaging. And then you're going to lash out more at everyone that why nobody really likes me or what's wrong with men. Well, no. And so you younger sisters have to get the messaging right early. You can't, you younger sisters, it's time for you to get the messaging. Success is one husband and a family. That's what success is, according to the Almighty. Get away from all the chemicals. Be natural. Because if not, you're going to grow in regret and bitterness. And I'm going to be talking about that in a couple of moments. And this is why now I understand Isaiah 13. Isaiah the 3rd chapter. It made me understand Isaiah the 3rd chapter more so. Okay? I really understand Isaiah the 3rd chapter. Let me go there. Not that I didn't understand it before, but based on them separating our families by giving messaging to only one side of the image of God. Man and woman is the image of God. You just can't be showing or giving messaging to one side. That's what the serpent did in the Garden of Eden. Adam wasn't present, and what? Eve got messaging. She partook of the fruit and sought and understood that it was a fruit that can make one wise. She received messaging, information. See? So when it comes to the hair in particular, there is a chemical attack on women. But because of the independent messaging that's been given to them, they have taken on the chemicals willingly, not realizing the consequences past 30. See? Let's read this real quick. Isaiah, the 3rd chapter. Isaiah 3. Let's see here. I'm going to start at 16 here. Isaiah 3 and 16. Now, based on how I've prefaced this and put it in a way in which we can understand that there's messaging going on, young girls are being told the wrong messaging. That success is competing with men out there in the workplace, and that's not what real success is. And through that, to put off having children or marriage till later, but at the same time, being screwed around, being told all this feminist stuff, and then getting chemically destroyed with birth controls that leads to hair falling out and all that. And that leads them to a certain level of resentment, anger. Only for us to not realize what they're going through, because when they get 35, 40, that's when they start to realize I've been lied to. Right? And this is why the Bible says this in Isaiah, the 3rd chapter. Moreover, the Lord say, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. Are haughty. Let's talk about that real quick. What does it mean, haughty? 3 and 16. And of course, usually when things like this are brought out, most people would think, well, it's not all. That's true. It's not all. But the Most High is talking about a lot of people here, based on the demographics I'm going to show on Patreon. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. 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 That is, exalt. High. Lifting themselves up. Mount up. To be proud. Raise up to great height or upward. That means she's looking to step up from her initial position that the Most High created her for. To raise up to be equal with the man. See? The Most High he would have made you a man if he wanted you to be a man. There's no such thing as equality. There will never be. Men will always be inherently stronger than women. And there's nothing wrong with that. The greatest women take pride in their demure, feminine, agreeable spirit. They live longer. They're less angry. Let's get that again. I think y'all missed that because it's down here. Yes, I'm sorry. It says, a primitive root to soar, that is to be lofty, to be haughty, to exalt, to be high, to lift up, to mount up, to be proud. Now, it tells us in the book of Corinthians that the hair is a glory, which means to be worshipped. So women know the power if they have a nice body and long hair. It makes it where they're deified. This is why it doesn't matter how much men say they don't want the hair. Them women out there are going to get it, because this is that's the attention that comes with what? That's right. The long natural hair, which I broke down earlier, primarily from the beginning, subconsciously, that tells a man that the woman is strong, virile, and can produce good children. strong children. And I'm talking about natural hair. Right? So in Corinthians, it says to what? To worship. So women know the power of it. And this is why you must be humble with the hair. You still must walk with what? Elegance. In a humbling spirit, not in a haughty spirit, as if you're there to have somebody chase you. And this is why in the church, the Most High made sure that the women would cover their hair in the churches. Because the only power that's getting worshiped in the church is the Almighty. And automatically, if a woman came in there and she looked nice and she had long hair, the attention will get off God and onto her. Right? So let's go back here. I'm here on Eastward. I'm here on Eastward here. 1 second, folks. I'm here on Eastward. And it says, moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, wanting everything they see. See? Now the messaging was to do what? To separate the man from the woman, because why? The woman naturally wants what she sees when it comes to products and everything else. Right? And since she makes 75% of the choices when it comes to purchasing, especially if she don't have to spend her own money, she's spending her husband's money. So there's a different way of operating when you know. And I'm talking about a woman with a man or a husband. So I can understand why the government would say, listen, come, we'll give you grants, go to school, be separated, get your degree. All of these things, because that messaging do what? It builds the economy. Yet it destroys families. However, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, switching, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. And the Lord will discover your secret parts. Why? Because the women, our women, the daughters of Zion before the curse, had hair that would cover even their whole bodies, including their rear ends. They can use the whole hair to cover. My grandmother was a Cherokee Indian, and she had hair she could wrap around her whole body if she wanted to. So I know this is true. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments and their feet and their calls and their round tires like a moon. Speaking of those long, big earrings that women wear, where it's tearing the hole out of their ear, but they just love those big earrings, right? It's talking about our sisters. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and mantles and the wimples and the crisping, hold on. Okay, the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen, and the hoods and the veils. And the Bible tells us, instead of well set hair, let's get it. Instead of well set hair, The 24th verse. The 24th verse. Instead of well set here. Let me get it. Isaiah 3 and 24. It says, and it came to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be a stink. And that's talking about some of the chemicals and the bad diets that are going on. Women are taking all these different medications and all that. Okay, and it's leading to infections and all those things. The chemical attack on women. And it come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. A girdle means it doesn't matter how much our women used to eat. The Most High kept their hourglass shape. It doesn't matter how much they ate. The Most High would keep her hourglass shape. And instead of, it says, and instead of a girdle, a rent. He tore that natural girdle off of our women. And instead of well set here, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth and burning instead of beauty. How do you take away a woman's beauty? You take away what? The power or the ability for her to grow hair. The Bible tells us in the Corinthians that a woman's hair is her glory. It's her beauty. It's her beauty. So feminism was the messaging or curse that made the woman haughty. Now, it's just not our sisters. A lot of women taking these chemicals to compete with men are suffering what we're saying also, are suffering from this also. Other races of people. But when it comes to any ill effects on society, the poor usually suffers way in number, exponentially higher than any other race of people. Now, there is a way to undo the curse, but it's going to take total humility. Total humility and first own up and say, well, you know what? I did receive the wrong messaging. I was out there squandering away my teenage years, my 20s and all that. And I know what the Most High said. I was taking these medications and all these things in private. And this is what began my follicles degenerating. And the more I covered my hair, the worse it became. And now I need the Most High. I need him to heal me and take this off of me. And I'm going to start by repenting and becoming the daughter of Zion he created me to be. I'm going to love myself. And you know what? I'm not going to view mankind or men like the messaging told me to. I'm not going to view them like that. Even if I was done wrong, I will forgive my past. And I will fall to my knees to the Most High for forgiveness so that he can bring forth the spirit of healing that would allow me to grow my beauty back. Like I said, it's not all of their faults, but a lot of our people have brought in to the lies. And this is why I'm going over to Patreon in a couple of seconds. And I'm going into blackdemographic.com. And I'm going to tell you, and guess what? This is something that men can't fix. Sisters going to have to get in front of that. They're going to have to get in front of this. Men can't fix that. And what do I mean by that? They have flooded the earth now through immigration, putting up Kim Kardashian as the example, where now you got Middle Easterns coming in, Chinese people coming in, Asian people coming in, and all of them are going after the successful, strong men. That's what's going on. Our men. That's what, and whether people agree with it or not, that is what's happening. And they're doing that on purpose. And now brothers are online and all that, and they're seeking other people based on the hair, the beauty, and what? A person they can be what? Agreeable with. Someone who's being in agreement with them and not at odds with them. So sisters going to have to realize it's only going to get worse if they don't listen to the correct messaging now and repent, like the Bible said. Like the Bible said. It's only going to get worse. There's going to be more resentment because men are going to start going where people agree with them. Women who will follow them. Because at the end of the day, me being a man, and I understand it, men are simple creatures who just want peace. They're simple creatures. Men are simple. And the Bible says a woman with many words is like an aged man walking up a hill. It's like trying to take a sandbag and put it on an old man and say, yeah, I need you to walk up Mount Everest. Okay? So yeah, there is a chemical attack against our sisters. Our sisters didn't know that it was a trade-off for feminism or birth control pills. They didn't know that this stuff was actually deteriorating their insides and destroying their follicles. And now they're covering their hair and men are looking at them like, weird, like, what do you got that? We don't want that. But really, they're screaming for help and are too ashamed to ask for it. But the Most High see it. The Most High have heard your cry. He has seen you in the mirror by yourself with that pretty face, but now your hair is falling out in the comb, and he have taken your beauty. And through the ignorance and the messaging, the birth controls and all of that, you didn't know that stuff was going to take away your beautiful hair. So it's time for mothers to give the correct messaging to their daughters going forward. No, do not put that stuff in your hair. You're strong, young, virile, vibrant. It's time for you to take a special care of your beauty. Your hair is fine the way it is. It starts with us. And then it comes with the conversation when it comes to relationships getting together, when it comes to family. And I'm going to say it again. Brothers will get with women. Brothers will get with women with the hair and all that and with the aesthetics and the long nails because they're just trying to physically or carnally lay. But based on these demographics, 25% of our sisters are being chosen for marriage now. When we were the highest marriageable group in captivity, through Jim Crow, all the way up to the 60s, we were the highest married group. And guess what? Women love their natural beauty. Their hair was just outstanding. That's your beauty, and it's up to you to preserve it. That's something that men cannot do. It's up to you. With that, I hope this message went through with the care and spirit that I prayed or intended to deliver it with. And I just hope our brothers and our sisters know in particular, the Most High loves you. He've always loved you. But if we war against our men, if we war against him, the only recourse is Isaiah the 3rd chapter. The only recourse is to take away what he knows you long for. That beautiful daughter of Zion with the long locks from your head to your feet. He knows that's part of who you really were. All the other nations of women got their hair from you. With that, I love you. May the Most High be with you. And I'm going over to Patreon for at least 30 minutes. And we're going to open up the lines. And I'm going to start off with, you got it. I'm going to start off with this woman, a very, very, very thorough, has done a very, very thorough observation on the destruction of our people, all people buying into feminism. It's only 14 minutes. Y'all gonna have to hear this, all right? So I'm gonna go over the page. I'm gonna go over the Patreon now, and what I'll do is we'll put this up in clips on YouTube. We're not gonna put up the whole Patreon because some of the things, we like to respect YouTube guidelines. But I'm gonna put up some of this stuff from Patreon in clips just so that y'all can get a window and get an eyes view into what we do over there, okay? And to make sure we give you the information that's needed, all right? But yeah, there is a chemical attack on our sisters, and we're going to continually talk about that, right? We're going to continually talk about that, all right, over on that side. And with phone calls, let's discuss how to fix this. What are the first stages or steps we can take to begin to undo the curses? Because at the end of the day, even though it affects other races of people, the people on the bottom, our sisters on the bottom, the lowest demographic usually suffer more than any other race. And that's just the way it is. Right? So men are choosing what they deem the beauty that they deserve. And guess what? That is within our sisters. If they're willing to turn around and realize I've been lied to, this feminist garbage, my career was supposed to find a good man who could take care of me and my children. That was supposed to be my career. He was supposed to have been my career. Okay? So I'm going to go into that. And guess what? We can't change if you did choose a career, whatever. That's good. If you're working, that's fine. But there's because we worked in the 60s. We worked in slavery. Women were working too. Right? But there was a balance when it came to priority. God, family, then everything else. Work was a what? Distant fourth. The Most High God, my husband, my children, and the distant fourth was what? The livelihood that I can bring where we can share in building our home. Now, career and job has come first, and it's thrown everything out of whack. I'm going to be talking about that with Suzanne Vinker. She really quantifies a lot of what I'm talking about here within 13 minutes. Some very good information, and I hope to see you there. May the Most High be with you. Keep in mind, the Hebrew and Bible Academy is still open. Okay, we're only in the third week coming. I hope to see you there. Go to historytimes.org. You don't want to miss that. If you think this is something, there's nothing on earth like the news we do in that academy. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this further over there. Also, for those who are waiting on their calendars, the calendars were shipped out. Don't worry about it. They was all shipped out yesterday. You should be receiving your calendar that breaks down the true holy days. And you can use it like a regular calendar, but this thing is outstanding. I'll be showing it again tomorrow. There's not one near me. I don't have one near me right now, but I'll be showing it tomorrow. I mean, the calendar is immaculate. Okay, you can hang it up. The pictures are very therapeutic. They speak to you. When it comes to the scriptures, it speaks to you. That's on each page. And it shows you how to properly calculate time yourself according to the word, to know that the holy days that the Gathering of Christ Church are following is on point with the Almighty when it comes to Sabbaths. So make sure, if you're interested in that calendar, go to, that's right, gatheringofchrist.org. Okay, go right there. You'll see calendar. Order your calendar, and you can see there's some examples of at least how the front page looks. Okay. All right, it's 2:38. I'm late again. Let me go over to my page, my loyal Patreon members. Okay. Patreon /A Gathering 144. Okay? Patreon /A Gathering 144. It's not going to be a long Patreon at all today. I'm going to just immediately open up the lines because the majority of people on Patreon, they've seen us here first. But we're going to start off with this particular video. I'll do my commentary with that. And then we're going to go over blackdemographic.com. They strategically move black women off the competitive stage to where they would be the lowest married women on earth. Automatically, they did that by having them choose careers and do all those things, knowing that they will be left out of the marriage pool in number, while every other race of women, right, go to school and do what they need to do to get their man almost immediately, knowing that there will be no one to take care of them past their virile stages. You're not going to look like you're 23 forever. Okay? And a lot of other people realize that, and we're going to be talking about that and how we can fix this, how we can talk about it and fix it, not blame. Okay? With that, hold tight. And Patreon members. And another thing, thank you for continuing to support our church. As you can see right there, $GOCC 144 donate. If you have Cash App, please continue to deal with the work. As you can see, the more you send, the more we do. I was just able to purchase a Nexigo 4K camera, and a lot of this stuff costs, right? So it's a lot of things we have to get to, right, make things better. So, and it's because of what you sent in, okay? $GOCC 144 donate. If you have Cash App, whatever little you can do, it's fine, but it goes towards what we do right here. All right? I love you. May the Most High be with you. Stay prayed up. Sin not. That's right. We will soon, as a people, see Zion.
I was lost.
Shalom. Patreon /A Gathering 144.
I'm a child of Israel.